curious what you think about this. Patrick Mahomes, Danny sent us a headline, and upon further digging, Danny, not only Mahomes' mom, but Mahomes has made a lot of comments, and they have to do with not playing later in his career. The headline you sent was Patrick Mahomes' mom says he definitely won't play until 45 like Tom because he plans on prioritizing family. And is like, ooh, is that like a not playing until 45 like Tom because he plans on prioritizing family? If you emphasize the word he, it's like because he plans on prioritizing family. It depends on how you read it, right? Because you're like, is she saying that,
no, it's like
that's why Tom's –
it's like a very mom way of giving you a backhanded sort of diss. Like it's so evident, but it's a mom way. It's like, you know when moms say certain things like, well, I don't know about you, but he does. And you're like, Mom, I know you're talking about me. And then she'll say, well, if the shoe fits. But she's pretending like she's not saying it, but she is saying it. That's really what Mahomes' mom is doing here. She's pulling a mom sort of Jedi trick of saying, well, I'm not saying that about Tom, but if you want to interpret it that way, then be my guest. It's a very mom backhanded way of telling you how it is.
Well, Patrick Mahomes' mom has a telling comment on when he'll retire. I don't know if you want to read some of the quotes. I got him here. I know you love doing your Mahomes. He said something to the effect of, oh, look at this. Look, if I played until Tom's age, my daughters would be 19, 20 years old. That would be missing plenty of youth sporting events and other commitments. I feel like it's taken away from family time.
Hey, you see, I grew up, my dad played sports, and he was always like, always with the Twins, and then he was with Rich's crappy Mets, and I just want to be there, when my kids are playing sports, and, time moves fast, and I just want to be there more than my dad was there, and
just that sort of thing. He also, remember, grew up where his dad probably prioritized pitching a lot. I'm not saying his dad wasn't there. I know his dad's one of his biggest fans and supporters, but he knows what it's like to have his dad dedicate his time to his craft, and maybe he's like, yeah, you know what? I want to be there a little more often than Pat Mahomes Sr.
Yeah, I mean, Mahomes is 28. Brady played till 45. So it's lofty to even think, like, does Mahomes have 17 more years in him, which just seems so fake. That number doesn't even seem real. Like, to play until Brady played, Mahomes would have to play 17 more years? That seems absurd when you think about how long Tom Brady was
Mahomes is never the GOAT unless he surpasses Tom when it comes to rings. So he's got a lot of winning to do, and I think what he says may be true if he's able to get much closer when it comes to Super Bowl victories.
I don't know.
Because I think that's what's going to keep him around longer.
Do you think, though, that the gauge of GOATness in the NFL will be rings? I know you're going to say, well,
it's
the winning.
Always been. What do you mean? Why would that change?
But, all right, let's say Mahomes plays till 35, and he walks away when he's still totally capable. But he wins 2 more. And Mahomes is 5-time Super Bowl winner. Like, just at 35, he's like, yeah, it's time. Like, you would, with 10 years left on the table compared to Brady 45.
I mean, part of Brady's career and why he was so successful is his longevity. The dude made health a priority. He stuck it out. He won a few more. He won one toward the end of his career. Like, for Mahomes to be the GOAT, he would have to do something similar, or really start winning now and get some more Super Bowls under his belt. And I think that any great competitor, and that he is going to want to shoot their shot at being the best. So he says that now, but we'll see what happens in the future. Look, think of how many players retire and come back, how many fighters retire and come back because they have that itch, because they left some on the table. They had more gas left. So I don't know. That would be – he says that now. I don't know if he's that willing to give it up. But on the flip side, nothing wrong with prioritizing your family, but we're talking greatness here. Greatness comes along few and far between. You're going to leave greatness on the table. You can still be a good dad and try to be great at the same time.
Is it a diss? Do you look at that as a diss or like, this has nothing to do with Tom Brady? When Mahomes or his mom says, oh, well, Patrick says he's going to prioritize family. He's not going to play till 45. Is that, as your mom would say, if the shoe fits, is that saying, oh, well, look at Tom Brady. He didn't prioritize family, and look at him now. He's 46, 47, divorced. He's getting roasted, and his ex-wife hates him, and his kids, and like are
if we see, we work in media, and you're always looking for that salacious, ooh, that juicy story, like, ooh, man. And I don't want to over dissect, but I do feel like there is something there.
I don't think it's a diss as much as just a template. Like if I saw someone, you see someone put their hands on a hot stove, they burn it, you're not going to do it. He might say, listen, with all due respect, Tom's my hero, a legend, but he might say, I see what happens when you play till 45 and your kids grow up before your very eyes and you're not there all the time. I don't. With all due respect, I'm not going to take that path. Is that a sneak diss or just a realization?
And I love football, but I just want to prioritize my family and not do what Tom Brady did.
I kind of think there's something going on there.
That guy really blew it, huh?
With what the mom said. Like, you don't want to. And you know what? It's not a diss if you take it from the standpoint of maybe Patrick Mahomes and his mom was insinuating.
Because I saw what could happen when you don't prioritize your family.
In his family and with Brady. It is true that Brady, not that he doesn't love his family, but he started to prioritize football.
He hates his family.
No, I'm not saying that, but his family, it didn't work out, right? Because he prioritized football toward the end, and I'm sure there's a lot of other things. And he maybe even prioritized football because there was trouble in paradise. It was probably a combination of both. But you see what happens when work. Look, dude, hey, maybe if I didn't take that TV job in New York, I could have kept my family together. But it puts a guy in a tough situation when you have to work and you have to put bread on the table. You have to be a provider, but you also have to be a family guy. Those are tough choices to make. Patrick Mahomes has a luxury that most people, and men especially, don't have. He does have the luxury to say, well, I don't have to do it if I don't want to. Because I'm fine, I'm successful, and I could call it a day. I have nothing to prove, and I could be there for my family. But will he feel like he still has something to prove? That's really the question here.
We live in a different generation now where dads, more than anything, moms have always been involved, right? But we live in a different world now where I saw a stat that said the percentage of dads that change diapers and do kids' baby things is so astronomically different than our parents' generation.
Break time.
My mom would always say stuff like, your father never changed one diaper.
Let's be fair. I changed two.
So is it a sneak diss or not? COVINO, do you take it as a sneak diss? Because, you might think I'm sneak dissing you right now. When you hear people mock people that get married in Vegas, like, it'll never work, and you got married in Vegas and you're divorced, do you ever take that as a sneak diss or no?
It only hits because it's something I did, right?
Yeah.
And so it doesn't based on that, it doesn't necessarily mean he's throwing shots at Brady. It is just something that Brady did.
If the shoe fits.
And he may have learned from watching that experience, or maybe his own. We're projecting that thought in reality, but there is something to it because we immediately think of Tom Brady. So, I don't think it was intentional. I think the Mahomes family, especially Patrick, looks at Tom as one of the GOATs, and they take the higher route. It just happens to be that's something that we think Tom Brady did.